The world can change in a moment. One minute you are on a sunny hike, the next, the sky turns dark, a storm hits, you are lost, your phone has no signal. Panic starts to creep in. This is where your training matters. It is not about being the strongest, it is about being smart. Your mind is your sharpest tool. Knowing basic survival skills is not just for adventurers. A natural disaster can happen anywhere. Tip 1. Find clean water. Tip 2. Build shelter. Tip 3. Make fire. Tip 4. Signal for help. Tip 5. Find food. Tip 6. Navigate. Tip 7. First aid basics. Tip 8. Stay calm and think. Tip 9. Prioritize threats. The rule of threes. Tip 10. Pack a survival kit. Tip 11. Practice your skills. Tip 12. Stay dry to prevent hypothermia. Tip 13. Avoid dangerous animals and know how to react if you encounter one. Tip 14. Improvise tools from nature, like using rocks as hammers or sticks as spears. Tip 15. Mark your path as you move to avoid getting lost. Tip 16. Stay warm in cold weather, layer your clothing and insulate yourself from the ground. Tip 17. Avoid drinking untreated water, always purify or boil before drinking. Tip 18. Protect yourself from insects. Use natural repellents and cover exposed skin. Tip 19. Stay visible to rescuers. Wear bright colors or use reflective materials. Tip 20. Keep a positive mindset. Stay hopeful and focused on survival. Water is your lifeline. Your body is mostly water, and even a small loss can affect your mind and strength. Signs of dehydration include dry mouth, headache, dizziness, and dark urine. Never wait until you feel thirsty. By then, you are already dehydrated. In forests, look for green vegetation, damp soil, or follow animal tracks downhill. Listen for the sound of running water. In the mountains, search for snowfields, melting ice, or streams flowing downhill. Melt snow before drinking, never eat it directly, as it lowers your body temperature. In deserts, search for green patches, dry riverbeds, or dig at the base of cliffs and inside bends. Look for morning dew on plants and rocks. Once you find water, always purify it. Boil for at least 1 minute or 3 at high altitude. If you cannot boil, use chemical purification tablets or drops. You can also make a simple filter with a bottle, cloth, charcoal, sand, and gravel. Pour dirty water through the top. This removes dirt, but you still need to purify it. In sunny areas, build a solar still. Dig a hole, place a container in the center, cover with plastic, and weight the center. Condensation drips into the container. Collect morning dew with a cloth and wring it into a container. Every drop counts, especially in dry environments. Common mistakes: drinking untreated water, eating snow, or waiting too long to search. Always treat water before drinking and start looking early. Find it, clean it, drink it. Water is survival, wherever you are. After water, shelter is your next priority. Exposure to cold, heat, wind, or rain can be deadly in just hours. The right shelter protects you from the elements and gives you a safe place to rest. The best shelter for you depends on your environment. In a forest, a debris hut or lean-to is quick and effective. In snowy conditions, a snow cave or a simple trench can save your life. In open areas, use a tarp or poncho to make a windbreak. Always pick a dry, flat spot for your shelter. Avoid low ground where water collects and never build under dead trees or near cliff edges. Look for natural windbreaks like rocks or dense bushes. Use what nature gives you. Fallen trees, caves, thick bushes, or even a snowdrift can become instant shelters. Improve them with branches, leaves, or snow blocks for extra protection. For a debris hut, start with a sturdy branch as the spine, leaning it against a tree or rock. Stack smaller branches along both sides to form a frame. Cover the frame with layers of leaves, pine needles, grass, or moss. The thicker the layer, the better the insulation and waterproofing. In snow, pile snow over the frame for warmth. For a lean-to, prop a long branch between two supports, then lean branches against it. Add layers of brush or a tarp for wind and rain protection. In snow, dig a trench or build a snow cave. Block the entrance with your backpack or extra clothing to keep warmth in. Always allow for ventilation to prevent suffocation. Keep your shelter small, just big enough to lie in. Stuff the inside with dry leaves, grass, or pine needles to insulate yourself from the cold ground. A thick bed is as important as a good roof. Avoid common mistakes. Don't build too large, don't skip insulation, and never sleep directly on bare ground. A simple, well-built shelter is your home in the wild and could be the key to survival. Fire is life. It is warmth, light, and safety all in one. In the wild, fire means hope. It keeps you warm, cooks your food, and boils water to make it safe. Fire can signal for help and keep predators away. To build a fire, you need 3 things: tinder, kindling, and fuel. Tinder is very fine dry material: cotton, dry grass, birch bark, or lint. In wet conditions, look under logs, inside dead branches, or peel bark to find dry fibers. Kindling is pencil-thin sticks. Fuel is larger logs to keep it burning. Collect more than you think you need, especially if the weather is damp. There are many ways to start a fire. If you have a lighter or waterproof matches, use them. If not, try a ferro rod. Scrape it with a steel edge to shower hot sparks onto your tinder. Flint and steel is another classic method. Strike the steel against the flint to create sparks. Catch them on char cloth or dry fungus. If you have no modern tools, try a bow drill or fire plow. These primitive methods use friction to create an ember. Patience and practice are key. On sunny days you can use a magnifying glass, binocular lens, or even eyeglasses to focus sunlight and start a smolder. Angle the lens to concentrate the sun's rays on your tinder. When your tinder smolders, blow gently to add oxygen. Build a small tipi or log cabin frame so air flows through. If your fire won't catch, check that your materials are dry and your structure lets air in. Add larger pieces gradually. Do not smother the fire, add wood piece by piece. If it smokes but won't burn, your fuel may be too wet or packed too tightly. Always clear a safe area around your fire. Keep water or dirt nearby to put it out. Never leave a fire unattended and fully extinguish it before you leave. A strong, steady fire is your ally. It protects you, warms you, and gives hope. With practice and patience, you can master fire, your greatest survival tool. Surviving is one thing, but getting rescued is the ultimate goal. You must make yourself as visible and noticeable as possible to rescuers. Use anything that stands out from the natural environment. Bright clothing, emergency blankets, or even arranging rocks and logs in large shapes can catch a rescuer's eye from the air. During the day, smoke signals are highly effective. Add green leaves or wet wood to your fire to create thick white smoke that can be seen for miles. At night, build bright fires. 3 fires in a triangle is the international distress signal. Place them in a clearing for maximum visibility. Whistles are simple but powerful. 3 short blasts is a universal call for help. Repeat at intervals and listen for a response. Mirrors or any reflective object can flash sunlight toward aircraft or distant rescuers. Hold the mirror near your eye and aim the reflection at your target. If you have no fire or mirror, spell out SOS or large symbols on the ground using rocks, logs, or clothing. Letters should be at least 10 feet high to be seen from above. Technology can save lives. If you have a personal locator beacon or satellite messenger, activate it as soon as you realize you need help. These devices send your location to rescuers, even without cell service. Make yourself big, be persistent, and change your signals if you think you're not being seen. Move to open areas and avoid dense cover when signaling. In real-life rescues, survivors have been found because of a simple mirror flash, a bright jacket, or a well-placed SOS. Your creativity and persistence can make all the difference. Remember, your life depends on being found. Use every tool and method you have. Stay hopeful, stay visible, and never give up. Once you have water and shelter, your mind will turn to food. Food gives you energy, focus, and the strength to keep going. If you have emergency rations, ration them carefully. Eat small amounts at regular intervals to make them last. In a pinch, focus on small, easy sources. Insects like ants, grasshoppers, crickets, and grubs. They are rich in protein and often easy to find under rocks or logs. Always cook insects to kill parasites. Roast them over a fire until crispy. Avoid insects that are brightly colored, hairy, or have a strong odor, as these may be poisonous. Many wild plants are edible. Dandelion leaves, cattail roots, wild onions, and clover are safe choices in most regions. Berries can be nutritious, but only eat them if you are certain they are not poisonous. To avoid poisonous plants, remember, never eat anything with milky sap, bitter taste, or an almond smell. Steer clear of plants with white or yellow berries, umbrella-shaped clusters, or thorns. Fishing is another great option. You can improvise a hook from a safety pin or thorn and use string, shoelaces, or even plant fibers for a line. Look for fish in slow-moving streams or pools. You can also set simple traps for small animals or birds. A basic snare can be made from wire, cord, or even flexible branches. Place traps along animal trails or near water sources. Always cook wild-caught food thoroughly to kill parasites and bacteria. Boil, roast, or grill over a fire. If in doubt, cook it longer. Food takes effort, but the energy it gives you is worth it. Focus on easy wins. Small protein sources, edible plants, and simple traps will keep you moving forward. Being lost is frightening, but you can find your way. First, stop and breathe. Look around carefully before you move. Notice the position of the sun, the shape of the land, and any landmarks. Navigation is more than just a map or compass. It's about reading the world around you, using nature's clues to guide your steps. If you have a compass, hold it flat and turn until the needle points north. Use your map to identify features, rivers, hills, or trails, and match them to what you see. Without tools, use the sun. It rises in the east and sets in the west. In the morning, your shadow points west. In the afternoon, it points east. Try this. Place a stick upright in the ground. Mark the tip of its shadow. Wait 15 minutes, mark again. The line between marks runs east to west. At night, use the stars. In the northern hemisphere, find the Big Dipper. The two outer stars point to Polaris, the North Star. In the southern hemisphere, draw a line from the Southern Cross's long axis and another from the pointers, where they meet is south. Moss often grows on the north side of trees, but it's not reliable everywhere. Instead, look for flowing water. Streams run downhill and often lead to roads or settlements. Watch animal trails. Deer and other wildlife often use the easiest paths to water and safety. Birds flying in the morning or evening may be heading to water or roosts. If you're lost, the safest rule is to stay put. Rescuers can find you more easily if you don't wander. Make yourself visible and wait for help. If you must move, mark your path as you go. Break branches, stack rocks, or leave bright items. Move toward clear landmarks or water, but only if you're sure. Use every clue: sun, stars, wind, water, animal signs, and your own footprints. Stay calm, make deliberate choices, and trust your skills. The wild can be read like a map if you know what to look for. In the wild, prevention is your first medicine. Check your gear, watch your step, and stay alert to your surroundings. Cuts, burns, sprains, and insect bites are common. Know how to respond quickly and calmly. For cuts, stop the bleeding with direct pressure using a clean cloth, shirt, or even moss. Elevate the limb if possible. Once bleeding slows, clean the wound with purified water. In an emergency, your urine is sterile. Use only if you have no other option. Cover the wound with a clean bandage. Improvise with a scarf, bandana, or strips of clothing if needed. For sprains or suspected fractures, immobilize the limb with sticks and cloth. Rest and avoid putting weight on it. For minor burns, cool the area under running water or with a wet cloth for 10 to 15 minutes. Never use ice or butter. Do not pop blisters. They protect new skin. Cover with a clean dressing if needed. For insect bites, remove the stinger if present, wash the area and apply a cool compress. Avoid scratching to prevent infection. If you suspect an allergic reaction, trouble breathing, swelling, or hives, seek help immediately or use an epinephrine injector if available. Watch for signs of hypothermia, shivering, confusion, slurred speech. Get the person dry, warm, and sheltered. Use body heat and insulation. For heat stroke, move to shade, loosen clothing, and cool with water or fanning. If the person is confused or unconscious, seek help fast. Prevent sickness, always purify water, cook food thoroughly, and keep hands as clean as possible. Use hand sanitizer or ash if water is scarce. Get rest, conserve energy, and tend to injuries early. Your health is your greatest asset in the wild. If an injury is severe, you cannot stop bleeding, or someone is unconscious. Signal for help and stay with them. Never hesitate to seek rescue. Preparation is everything. Survival isn't luck, it's the result of planning, learning, and practicing before you ever need it. Treat survival like a checklist and make each skill second nature. Build a small kit: a sturdy knife, fire starter, water filter, first aid kit, and a signal mirror. But gear alone isn't enough. Practice using each item until it feels automatic. Regular practice builds muscle memory. When you're cold, tired, or scared, your body will remember what your mind forgets. Repetition is your secret weapon. Mental resilience is just as important as physical skill. When stress hits, take a breath. Remind yourself you have prepared for this. Focus on what you can control, one step at a time. Many survivors credit their mindset for making it through, like the hiker who broke her leg and survived by staying positive, making a plan and taking action, one small task at a time. If you can, take a course or join a group to practice in safe conditions. Even backyard drills or family camping trips build real skills and confidence. When things go wrong, remember: stop, think, observe, plan. This simple mental checklist can turn panic into action, break big problems into small steps, celebrate each small victory, lighting a fire, finding water, staying calm. Progress keeps you moving forward. Remember why you push on: family, friends, the life you will return to. Hope is your strongest tool. With preparation, practice, and the right mindset, you can survive anything. Find water, build shelter, make fire, signal for help, find food, navigate, treat injuries.